3 days after sitting at lunch in Palm Beach with some incredible wedding vendors, drinking one of the best espresso martinis I've ever had, and talking about the wedding publishing world, I was standing on top of a rock at Lake Keowee in South Carolina, trying to convince myself to jump about 30 feet into the water. And honestly, that pretty much sums up my life lately. Last week was basically a million different parts of my life packed into a few days: work, weddings, family, travel, closing out an old chapter, and apparently jumping off cliffs now. So instead of wedding advice today, I thought I would take you guys along for a little week in my life. Hey, I'm Sydney Greer, wedding planner, best-selling author, and your behind-the-scenes guide to the world of weddings. This is the Wedding Buzz. Your only job is joy. Let's get into that. So last week on Monday afternoon, I flew back to South Florida, pretty much immediately went back into work mode. I went straight from the airport home, had a work call as we start wrapping things up for a wedding that I have coming up in October. And then I went over to the house that I used to live in, that I've been trying to sell, you guys, since November. I moved out last November, but the house has basically just been sitting there and it's finally under contract. Thank God. And no, this has nothing to do with weddings, but I think it's important for you guys to get to know your vendors. And I'm a real person, this is my real life. So something that, you guys probably don't know is that I've been trying to sell my house for months and months. I moved out in November and it's finally under contract. It's supposed to close at the end of August. So fingers crossed that all goes smooth. But I zipped over to that house and I had moved out like 99% of everything, but there was just the final things, to get out and some last minute furniture that I was trying to sell. So anyway, went over there Monday night, cleaned it all out. My parents, thank God, went with me. They were so sweet. And I think we drove out of there about like 9:30 p.m. So that was definitely a full day starting. I think that day I was in the gym at 5:30 a.m. and then was pulling out of that house after cleaning it out at about 9:30 p.m. So that was definitely a full day. Then, the next day, well, I do want to say that this chapter has been like a long time coming, and cleaning it out, it was kind of weird because I haven't lived there for months, so it doesn't really feel like home anymore. But knowing that I was cleaning everything out because this chapter is actually almost officially closed felt like really exciting at the same time. It's bittersweet. It's strange when something like has emotionally been over you for a while and then you finally get a tangible ending to it. So I'm very excited for the end of this month for that to close and be done. The next day, Tuesday, I went to the eye doctor. I seriously have such bad vision, you guys. I don't know if you knew this about me. I've posted about it a few times, but I have very bad vision. I got glasses when I was 3. My dad has really bad vision, so it runs in the family. But I got glasses when I was 3 and I got contacts when I was 10. So anyway, went to the eye doctor. I go to the eye doctor a lot. I've been trying 2 different brands of contacts and just trying to figure out what is going to work best. My doctor basically was like, "This is literally what you told me last time that you saw well." And I was like, okay, well, now today I can't read with these contacts. So I don't really know. When she put the lens in front of my eye, I can see. When she puts the contacts in my actual eyeball, I can't see. So apparently my eyeballs have decided that they're going to change their mind every time that I go to the eye doctor. And I love that for me. Then I went and visited my grandparents. I went with my mom to visit them. They both have Alzheimer's, so it's kind of hard seeing people that you love change like that. But at the same time, I'm really, really grateful that I did get to go see them, and I still try to spend time with them, even though they won't remember. I'll remember. Those visits are kind of hard and sad, but they're also really important to me. Then I had a really fun networking night event that night. So I went home, showered, changed, headed to a networking night hosted by Golden Palm Photo at the Aurora Studio in West Palm Beach. They did headshots, which I'm so excited to see. I saw one of them, but I'm so excited to see the rest. Got to spend time with so many amazing wedding vendors. Rudy LaFrance was playing acoustic guitar. Laura Ashley did the catering. It was such a fun night. I love getting to spend time with other people in the wedding industry. And I think from an outside perspective, people probably assume that a lot of us wedding vendors are all competing with each other. But some of the best relationships and opportunities in this industry have actually come from knowing the people that I'm working alongside, even other planners. I'm friends with Monica from Boca Event Planning. She's fantastic. We're friends and I love her. And you can say we're competition, but I help her, she helps me. And that's, I think in the end, we both win. And in the end, I think all of our clients win, because I can learn things from her, she can learn things from me, and it trickles down into both of us helping serve our clients best. So from a planner perspective, having relationships with amazing photographers, caterers, florists, entertainment companies, venues, and all of these different vendors ultimately helps me build better teams for my couples. I really want to know these vendors and know who I'm recommending for you to work with. And at these networking events is when I get to really know these people, not just they're a good photographer, but who are they as a person? And is it someone that I want to work with and someone that I want my clients to work with? The next day, Wednesday, I did more networking. I am going to screw this up, but I went to lunch at Le Bilbouquet in Palm Beach with Society Privé. I probably said that wrong. I'm so, so sorry. But Society Privé is a group of luxury wedding professionals in the Palm Beach area. They have chapters all over the world, actually, but I'm part of the Palm Beach chapter. And this event was really intimate. I think there was about 14 of us, which was really nice because sometimes I love big networking events. And it's like a big party and I get to see so many different people. But I also like that this one was intimate because we actually got to get deep in conversation. So we got to sit down and talk and again, get to know new people and further get to know other people that I already know and just take our relationships to a deeper level, which again, the point of it is, so that we all grow stronger in our wedding businesses to help our clients. So we had a absolutely wonderful lunch. The food was phenomenal. A few of us ordered espresso martinis. You guys, it was literally so good. Like, I'm an espresso martini girl, and this one was a good espresso martini. I will say, though, that I didn't really eat beforehand, and it hit me. It hit me hard before food came. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to eat lunch because I'm not trying to feel this martini so strongly at noon on a Wednesday. But we stuck to one martini, but it was perfect. Be Inspired PR was also there, and they spoke to us about the wedding publishing world, which was really interesting for me because getting my work published is definitely one of my goals. Learning more about the editorial side of weddings, what publications are looking for, and how the publishing world works, what makes a wedding stand out, was really, really interesting to hear about. And one thing I've been trying to do more intentionally is put myself in rooms with people that I can learn from. I don't care how long you've been doing something, there's always another level and there's always someone who knows something that you don't. And I think it's really important to be the kind of person that is open to learning. I've been around some people who think that they know everything and doesn't get them very far. So I always try to learn from everybody, even if someone is newer in whatever you're doing. For me, like if someone's a newer wedding planner than I am, I'm sure I can learn from them. So whatever your hobby you're trying to learn, a career you're trying to learn, I I say be open to learning from all sorts of people. So that night, or that afternoon, we went straight. I went with my parents. We were driving to South Carolina. As many of you guys know, I split my time between South Florida and South Carolina. So my parents and I drove back to South Carolina. We stopped in Jacksonville Wednesday night, just to break up the drive a little bit since we didn't start driving till Wednesday afternoon. Finished the drive Thursday. So we very quickly went from Palm Beach luxury networking in the wedding world and espresso martinis to we put on our bathing suits and lake water and pontoon boat because we rented a lake house at Lake Keowee for my mom's birthday. So my mom's birthday was over the weekend and our family rented this beautiful lake house, rented a pontoon boat and spent basically the whole weekend boating and swimming. Family all together. My aunt and uncle came. We were outside hanging out like around the house and it was just so much fun. Such pretty views, such nice weather. It was just honestly so nice to have a few days where life felt really, really simple. There's always another email, another wedding, another podcast, another project, or something I could be doing. But for a couple days, the biggest decision was basically like, are we going to go back out on the boat? And on Sunday, the second day that we were out on the boat, I don't know why I thought I charged my phone, but I guess I didn't. And so, like halfway through the day when we were out on the boat, my phone died. And that afternoon, I was on the boat, didn't even have my phone, couldn't even like be taking pictures and videoing, and like couldn't really be bothered with it. And I feel like it was really good. Sometimes it's very important to disconnect, get off the screen, and just enjoy time with family in nature is really important. So there's this place on Lake Keowee that they call Jumping Rock. You guys, I did it. I climbed up to jump, and honestly, the first, like, step to climb out of the lake, like, onto this rock was a pretty big step, and I was terrified I was going to slip and fall, and I just was, like, envisioning my head cracking open, but I climbed up there, and I looked it up afterwards, and it's about a 30-foot jump, which I feel like that doesn't sound that crazy until you're standing up on there, on that rock, looking down, and, like, not just looking down at the water, but, like, you can see, like, the whole lake from up there, and it felt a lot taller from the top. I was honestly more afraid of slipping on the rock before I jumped than I was of the actual jump. Like, I knew I was like, I'll land in the water, like, I'll be fine. I saw a bunch of other people doing it, but you kinda had to, like, run and jump out, and I didn't wanna fall and hit the rock. There was also, like, a bunch of boats anchored up watching everybody jump, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had an audience." But I did it. My brother-in-law was coaching me through it, which was very nice. He kept telling me, he's like, "You've got this." And eventually I just realized I had to go. And I also, like, the guy in front of me took forever. Like, he hesitated and hesitated. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I jumped, hit the water, came back up, and was so excited that I actually did it. I did cut my foot, but it's okay. It's okay. It was one of those things where you're standing there thinking, why did I agree to this? And then the second you do it, you're super proud of yourself. And I also know that if I chickened out, I would have been, like, sad. So I'm so glad that I did it. And apparently, surviving the first questionable decision this weekend wasn't enough for me. Sunday night, we had all showered, we'd eaten dinner, and completely clean, dry. We're, like, watching TV as a family, and for absolutely no logical reason, I decided that I wanted to jump in the lake. I don't know, I was feeling very with nature, I guess, and, we were checking out the next day, and I was like, "I wanna make use of our time here and just, like, have fun, like, why not?" You know, why not? And so, naturally, after showering and putting on clean clothes like a normal adult, I decided it would be a great time to jump back into the lake, and I somehow corralled my brother-in-law to do it with me. My sister sat on the dock and watched us be crazy people, but we jumped in the lake at night, which was so fun and completely random and one of my favorite little moments from the weekend. And sometimes the random things that you decide to do for absolutely no reason end up being the memories that you remember the most. Like, I'll always remember that we, like, jumped into the lake at night, which I don't know why jumping in at night is scarier than jumping in the day. It's the same lake, it's the same fish that are in the lake. But at night when it's, like, pitch black, it feels weird. But it was so fun. This week was such a weird little snapshot of where my life is right now. A house that's finally about to close, an old chapter becoming officially finished, weddings that I'm so excited about, growing delightful planning, getting into rooms professionally that I want to be in, goals like my work getting published. Um, that wasn't, like, super on my radar, but now, like, hey, maybe that's something that I can reach towards. Spending time with my grandparents while I still have that opportunity, being with my parents and my family, celebrating my mom's birthday, and apparently standing on top of rocks, debating whether I'm brave enough to jump in. I think I'm someone who is always thinking about what's next. The next wedding, the next client, the next business goal, the next podcast, the next trip, the next thing I want to accomplish. And I'm trying to get better at remembering that this is the life I'm working so hard to build. I need to actually be present enough and enjoy it while it's happening. And I really think that I did that this week, which is something that I really push for my clients is to, like, hey, sit back and enjoy your engagement, enjoy your wedding. Like, it goes by really fast. And sometimes it's easier said than done. And it's so hard to take your own advice. So that's something that I'm trying to do, and I feel like I did that this week. I'm not going to lie, it's hard coming back to normal life and sitting at your computer after you've spent a week traveling, seeing people you love, and going to fun events and spending an entire weekend on the lake. But it helps when you genuinely love what you get to come home and do. I say your only job is joy when I'm talking to couples. I tell my couples that their job is to actually experience their weddings while the rest of us handle everything happening around them. And again, maybe that's something I need to remember in my own life too. There's always going to be another email, another wedding, another goal, another thing on the to-do list. But sometimes you need to order the espresso martini. You need to spend the afternoon on the boat with your phone off. And apparently sometimes you need to jump off the rock. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little snapshot of the week I just had. It was a great week. It was, kind of all over the place. But yeah, I talked a lot about weddings and my professional advice and my professional life. but I'm a real person and I do things like go to the lake with my family. And I think it's fun for you guys to hear that side of things as well. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next episode where we'll probably talk about something more wedding related. I hope you guys have a great week. Make sure to like, follow, share. Every view, every like, every comment, everything is so, so helpful to me and the business. And I appreciate you guys being here.